Dear viewers, welcome to RuPaul's Drag Race latest news. Watch the full video and give your valuable comments. Thank you. The Drag Race franchise has produced various spin-offs for a number of years. All Stars 1 came in 2012, bringing back some of the fiercest queens for another shot at the crown. As the years went on, different versions of the format were introduced, notably in 2022, with an all-winners show. The series pitted contestants from different global franchises against one another, with Canada versus the World first airing in 2022. Although Isis Couture, who won Season 2 of Canada's Drag Race, was one of the queens battling for glory once again, Envy has now revealed she turned down the chance to reappear. Speaking to Maddie Morphosis, who appeared in Season 14 of the flagship show on Give It To Me Straight, Envy, who won Drag Race Holland's first season 4 years ago, said, "Drag Race production company, World of Wonder called me and said, 'We have an offer for you.' They wanted to check if I would be interested. And it's Canada versus the world." Explaining why she turned down the opportunity, Envy added, "If I'm going to go back on Drag Race or whatever season, I want to do it in front of RuPaul." Listen to this article. The Canadian franchise is fronted by Brooke Lynn Heights, not Mama Ru. That's nothing against Brooke, because I love her, but I've never been in front of RuPaul. I want to present my drag in front of Mother Ru. They wanted to have two winners against each other. No. It was not the right moment for me to go back. Listen to this article. While we won't be seeing Envy on the next season of Canada versus the World, the rumored cast list for Season 2 does include 2 fourth-time returnees. Does anybody else feel like they're in limbo this season? I have a vague sense of who's out ahead and who's not in the star counter, but the precise numbers regularly escape me. Who is technically in the lead? No idea. I have no sense of how far we are into the competition. Of course, all that can be solved, and regularly is, by a quick search on Wikipedia. My point is not that I can't do research, it's that I regularly forget the facts soon after I have learned them. The whole season has a smooth feel to it. Moments aren't sticking out, and the lack of eliminations causes a lack of texture. It just kind of slides off my brain. On All Winners, that wasn't an issue because moments of pure, unadulterated talent made the season have texture. There was Jinx's Snatch Game, and her roast, and her graduation speech, etc. Monet's opera, the spoken word lip sync, Raja's final ball look, and Jada's personality increase, etc. Has anybody fully killed the challenge this season? Roxy, Angeria, and Plastique have become the de facto frontrunners. But other than Plastique's ball, I wouldn't say any of their performances were legendarily good. And in the context of this season, those kind of performances are necessary. What else is making me watch? Certainly not the drama, because after one operatically good moment from Roxy, how many episodes ago, I couldn't tell you. Everything else has just been simmering tensions. The episode opens with a bunch of passive aggression from Roxy over being snipped by Angeria and a sad Nina. Plastique is pretending not to know how well she's doing, which is cute. It's all nice enough, except that most of this does not feel of consequence. During the next date in the workroom segment, Georges says, "We are more than halfway through the competition." Oh, okay. Plastique then begins the strategy talk for the week. If there's a high point in this episode, it's the thread of Plastique coming up with an objectively correct strategy. If you're trying to make it into the top 3, you should block girls with a similar amount of badges to you rather than the front runner. Most of the girls shrugging it off. Then Angeria ultimately executing it. That's great stuff. The girls do a mini challenge where they have to run with stuff between their legs. Nana wins and she gets immunity from being blocked. Cute. The challenge this week is an acting challenge in which the girls play roles specifically written for them that are vaguely inspired by movies, but not really, and hew very closely to their real personas, which is to say, it is not an acting challenge. They do not have to act. They must memorize lines, but otherwise, the girls play roles that are, in the very literal sense, just themselves. Nobody, ultimately, does poorly, largely because they are not allowed to. The biggest hurdle of the week is that they're acting opposite Rue. Between this and the photo shoot challenge from the end of last season, it's nice to see Rue get more involved with the girls on a seemingly regular basis. She's a good director, and she understands what drag acting needs to look like. With the girls regularly being recruited to act in commercials and TV shows and theater outside of Drag Race these days, acting challenges remain a necessity to see who has the goods. At the same time, they're extremely painful to watch, so it's nice to have the added component of Rue there to at least give some stakes to the proceedings. A note on the fact that their individual scenes were supposedly inspired by movies. No, they are not. The scenes are virtually identical. Also, the idea that these girls are supposed to have seen the mirror cracked is a bit silly. No, they have not. One thing that's interesting is that, because the wins are the only real results of the judges' feedback, multiple girls have incomplete arcs in this episode that are supposed to feel good, I think. Georges has had a big thing about not being funny this season, but I believe we're supposed to think that's complete based on the roast and her work this week. But since she hasn't won a comedy challenge yet, I'm not sure that I buy that arc finishing up. We're also, I believe, supposed to think Gottmik's big arc in this episode, about not feeling like she's in a good place and also feeling like that is feminine to show, is over. But again, she didn't win this week, so it doesn't feel like she overcame anything. In normal seasons, getting good critiques can be notable enough to move along somebody's story. See Mamhaya Amen. Lee Page's Snatch Game critique in season 16. Here, it's the default. If you liked the video, then give your opinion in the comment box and stay with us by subscribing the channel. Thank you.